Hi students and families, I'm Penny Chancellor, the Assistant Principal of SACE, Vet and Careers at Newry High School, and I'm creating this information video about what is SACE and how do you gain it to help you make some informed decisions before your subject selections this August. The SACE stands for South Australian Certificate of Education. It is a qualification and it allows you entry into university or other tertiary education. It's recognised nationally and internationally, and it's highly regarded by employers. The SACE is made up of two stages. Stage 1 is generally undertaken in Year 11, and Stage 2 is generally undertaken in Year 12. However, there can be some crossover if we have created a flexible pathway for individual students. At Newry High School, we begin our SACE with the very first subject in Year 10, called the Personal Learning Plan. The Personal Learning Plan is about identifying who you are as a learner, what your strengths are, and what your values are, and really starting to think about where these attributes may take you in the future, and starting to set some goals and think about how you're going to achieve them. The SACE is about creating a flexible pathway that suits the direction you want to take from school. Year 8, 9 and 10 allow you to explore a whole range of subjects, but by Year 11 you're starting to choose subjects where you feel really comfortable or that you really enjoy or you know you can achieve great success in them. And generally they connect to the aspirations that you have beyond school as well. The SACE is made up of three components: compulsory subjects, Stage 1 requirements, and then Stage 2 requirements. I'll explain it through this pie chart. If we start at the green section, that's our PLP that we begin in Year 10. When we move on to the first larger purple section, they are a compulsory literacy requirement which is undertaken usually in Year 11, but sometimes in Year 10 as well. At Newry High School, we offer three levels of English: Essential English, General English, or English Literary Studies. It's important that you choose an English that suits your aspirations and pathway, that you're being challenged and learning and developing new skills, but also that you can be successful at that level of English as well. Moving on to the next purple section, that's our numeracy compulsory requirement. So you must complete one semester of a numeracy subject, and we offer Essential Maths, General Maths or Maths Methods in Stage 1 or Year 11. And you need to select a level of maths that suits, again, your abilities, but also the pathway that you wish to take. Remember to look forward to make those choices. So it may be that you want to undertake a university degree that has prerequisites and requires a higher level of maths. It may be that you want to be a tradesperson and therefore you need to have a really high standard of maths as well. Those four subjects, you must achieve a C or higher in those compulsory subjects to be able to complete your SACE. When we move on to that next small orange section, that's the research project. Generally it's undertaken in Year 12, but sometimes it's undertaken in Year 11. And it's a Stage 2 subject. You must complete it at a C- or higher in order to be able to gain your SACE. So you must pass those first 5 subjects in order to be able to complete the SACE. If we move down the bottom to the blue section there's 90 Stage 1 credits. So that would be 9 one semester long Year 11 subjects. Or it could be a vet course that may be worth 50 Stage 1 credits plus 4 other subjects on top of your compulsory subjects. Each vet course will be worth a different amount of credits though, and so that's where this journey becomes quite individualised, and we really need to map your pathway and make sure that we're going to get enough credits to get that SACE completion. And then we move around to the large section, the large orange section, and that's 60 Stage 2 credits, or the equivalents to 3 year-long Stage 2 subjects. That will gain SACE completion, and you do need a minimum of 200 credits to get your SACE completion, but to get an ATAR, you actually need 80 Stage 2 credits, which is 4 year-long subjects plus your research project. Hence, at New Eureka High School, we set everybody up with that full load of 4 subjects and 1 research project. That means that you've got an ATAR pattern set up, but also if you fail 1 subject, you've got a backup plan there and you can still get your SACE completion at the end of the year. So therefore, you may end up with more than 200 credits, and that's perfectly fine. You can do that, but the minimum requirement is this pattern here and achieving 200 credits. So just to recap, students need a minimum of 200 credits to achieve their SACE. Most Stage 1 subjects are 1 semester long and are worth 10 credits. Most Stage 2 subjects are year long and worth 20 credits. Students need to achieve a C grade or higher for their Stage 1 subjects and a C minus or higher for Stage 2 subjects. So at Stage 2, the plus and minus starts to come into their grades and will appear on their SACE certificate at the end of their SACE completion. The SACE also allows students to explore and develop their capabilities. At the moment, the 7 capabilities are listed on the side of this slide. However, the SACE is undergoing some changes at the moment, and so these may change over the next couple of years. Essentially, these are areas for students to really look at and start to make connections with how they will need them to be successful in their journey beyond school. How will they need these capabilities in the world of work or in their further studies that they undertake? It's also really important that students understand that the SACE, all SACE subjects are subject to external marking and moderation. For instance, a Stage 2 subject will have a 30% component. It may be an external task or it could be an exam, which is marked by an external marker, not by their teacher. And that's to keep things fair and equitable across the whole state and make sure that all students are being marked equally. The other 70% of that subject will be submitted to the SACE board for moderation. And the moderation process is really about the moderators looking at the teacher's marking and making sure that what one teacher in one school gives a C is equivalent to what another teacher in another school is giving a C. If it's found that they're not equivalent, then the grades of that subject may shift up or down. So again, external marking and moderation is just about keeping things fair for all students who are undertaking the SACE across the state. Each subject in the SACE has a set of performance standards, and it's really important that students really understand what is being marked in each assessment task. They may produce the most beautiful piece of work, but if they haven't actually met the performance standards, then they won't necessarily achieve the grade that they had hoped for. Teachers will make every effort to make sure students are very clear about what is being marked in each assessment task, and then it's really important that students revisit those as they're completing their assessment so that they can make sure that they're hitting those performance standards at a high standard. The SACE allows for lots of flexibility. If you are really focused on a career pathway, then we can start looking at that within the SACE. If you already are working part-time or you win a school-based apprenticeship or traineeship, that can contribute towards your SACE completion. If you're undertaking voluntary work or you're a personal carer for someone, that can also allow you to gain SACE credits. It's really important that you keep in contact with me about any learning that you have going on outside of school that we may be able to give you SACE credits for. There's also recognised learning. So if you're very focused on a career pathway and there's a pre-vocational course available to you, then you could start your career pathway learning for a VET course, And that can contribute quite a number of SACE credits towards your SACE completion as well. So we would replace subjects with a VET course. There will be a video coming out about how VET fits within SACE, so if you're considering a VET course, please make sure you watch that video too. You can also undertake university courses, and they can contribute SACE credits as well. Or you may be undertaking some community learning, such as Duke of Edinburgh, voluntary work, things like that. They can also provide credits through recognised learning in your SACE. There are VET options that are available at both Stage 1 and Stage 2, fewer options at Stage 2, but if they are connected to your career pathway and you're very sure about that career pathway, it can be an awesome way to both start your career learning, potentially win yourself an apprenticeship or a traineeship, but also gain credits through that really focused learning if you're very, very interested in a particular pathway. SACE allows for special provisions. So if any student finds themselves in a situation where they're ill or there's unforeseen circumstances which significantly impacts their ability to learn or to engage in assessment, they need to come and see me, and we can put in an application for special provisions. And this means that despite the circumstances that that student may be under, we'll provide them opportunities that they can still be successful, and we'll make sure that those assessment conditions fit the needs of the student at that time. Also, SACE allows for inclusive education, so it really caters to whatever a student's individual learning needs and abilities are, and we can modify subjects if a student doesn't quite have the ability to meet it at the mainstream standard, but they're really interested in learning some aspects of that standard. So please feel free to talk to the Assistant Principal of Inclusive Education or myself about how we can modify curriculum to support students to be achieving success at all times and having a really rewarding journey through their SACE completion. The final thing that I want to show you in this SACE video is the SACE website, which is a really valuable tool for students. Firstly, once students have been enrolled in the SACE and they've undertaken their PLP, they can log in here at Students Online and they can keep a check on what their SACE completion journey is the whole way through. So all they need to do is put in their SACE number here, and you'll find that on DayMap if you don't know what it is. And then in your password section, you put the first 4 numbers of your date of birth. So if you were born on the 3rd of July, you would put 0307, and then that will set you up so that you can then go in and put your personal password in. Please make sure you don't forget that password because otherwise we have to contact the SACE board to reset that. And that allows you, as I said, to go in and check that completion check at any time. Also, if you're a student studying the SACE, it's a really good idea to get onto this subject and have a look at what the SACE is, what different subjects you might undertake, and when you do this, you can have a look for, let's say, for instance, we look for biology, so we go to B, come down to biology. You can look at Stage 1 or 2, and it will talk you through what the subject is going to be about, and it will provide you exemplars from the subject, etc. So you can have a look at what types of tasks you might do, at what standard you can achieve an A, B or C, and that kind of thing. So really make sure you do your homework on this SACE website before you select your subjects for your SACE journey. It's very important that you choose subjects that you feel really connected to and that you're prepared to work really hard at so that you can get the best results possible. So I hope this video has explained SACE a little bit. It's hard to get so much information into a quick video, but hopefully it gives you a brief overview. And if you have any further questions, feel free to send me a message on DayMap, email me, or make an appointment to see me at any time. And I'll endeavour to help you with whatever your questions are. And best of luck with your SACE journey and your subject selections.